I have a diary this morning that sets out the order of things this morning. And thank you for your participation. That will lead us to the agenda items that we'll go through. But first of all, let us be reminded of the usual COVID protocols that must be observed at all times. Needless to say, we must be observant to these factors, and therefore, at all times, we have to observe that. The strategic directions of the Motukea Commission of Inquiry has been one of the pinnacle points of the current government to underpin some of the things that they saw fit that we need to look at. And for these reasons, they have set up this Commission of Inquiry, and I believe you have read on the media outlets or elsewhere, other forms of media that have captured some of those important things regarding this Commission of Inquiry. I am mindful of the fact that it requires full participation from everyone. Just by looking at the timeline, to be more precise, and how we adapt ourselves by going through some of those things that we'll look at this morning. And these strategic directions are very important, and therefore it is a requirement from all of us, either outside or within, that we need to take this very seriously because of the fact that towards the winding down of this Commission of Inquiry, the country should be in a better position to see all those things that unfold. And therefore, as the chairman and the commissioner, this is my Commission of Inquiry, and I will have to make sure that directions that have been given must be complied with within the frame of time. Let me re-emphasize again. Time is essential. And once we put it together and we get our work in place, we will achieve what we want to achieve. Insofar, the Commission of Inquiry is concerned, the national government and the whole people of Papua New Guinea. I want to provide some rationale into the context of my opening remarks this morning, which I believe you can probably digest the significance of this and how it applies to each one of us. the loss of timeless, transcendent authority rarely makes the world, or even PNG as a country, such a course merely fosters a culture of ambiguity, which stands for nothing, and consequently falls for anything, but far deadlier than open revilements is the veiled contempt, the fraud disguised as friendliness, the brick worn in a velvet cloth. I use this phrase as an abridged version to incorporate to my remarks this morning, that it is very significant. And as Papua New Guineans, we have a duty, and that duty must be a collective one. And not only that, we have a responsibility to advise this country and its people the right things that you and I stands for. And as your commissioner, I believe that we can go through with this. And I can assure you that this country won't be neglected, but they will get the benefit of what they were looking for in terms of the controversial factors that may have come as a result of this Commission of Inquiry. Let me now dwell on the press, the media release for this morning. The press statement number 2 of 2022, Monday, 24th January 2022. The Commission of Inquiry into the sale and purchase of the Motukea Wharf wishes to advise the general public that hearings will resume on Monday, which is today, 24th January 2022, at about 9:30 a.m. at Level 1 Muruk House, Waigane. And I'm glad all of us are here this morning in response to that. Further public hearings have also been scheduled for Monday, 31st January 2022, Monday, 2nd February 2022, Monday, 7th February 2022, and Wednesday, 16th February 2022. That is the reason why I have emphasis on the time factors. If there are any changes to the above or any further developments in terms of Commission's calendar, we will advise the general public accordingly by way of further press statements. We wish to address the public and the interest persons or parties to councils or parties to consult the commissions, and you have the website that is available, www.commission.motukeawharf.com, to keep yourself informed of the Commission progress. Dated this 24th day of January 2022 and authorized by the commissioner sitting in this morning. That is the press statement. You can have the benefit of going through the website. You can download and you can read and follow closely the progress to this Commission of Inquiry. I also like to make mention of the fact that when the issuance of directions are given, I want to emphasize strongly, and I have to repeat it, that it must be complied with. I don't need to deal with a lengthy period that will delay this Commission of Inquiry. But what I need from us is to comply with all those directions, and then we can provide the good result of what we're here this morning and beyond. That's on the media release and the press statement for this morning. And now I call upon the Council assisting the Commission of Inquiry. What do we have for us this morning?
Thank you, Commissioner. For the record, my name is M. Kipper. I appear as Council Assistant. And Mr. Gibson Guerrero also appears this morning as the other Council Assistant. Commissioner, we have 3 summons that are returning this morning for mention. There's summons number 5, 6, and 7. We will deal with each of the summons one at a time. Firstly, I would like to make mention of summons number 5. And summons number 5, dated 6th of January 2022, was issued to Ms. Mary Johns in her capacity as the Company Secretary for BSP Financial Group Limited. Thank you, Commissioner. I note the presence of a council representing Ms. Johns. Maybe I should invite them to the bar table and enter their appearance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Response to summons number 5 that was issued on the 6th of January and served on Ms. Mary Johnson the 7th of January this year. Here with my friend Timothy Tainer to assist me on Mr. Commissioner. I'm not familiar with the how proceedings will be conducted, but the summons was served on Ms. Mary Johnson the 7th of January this year. In response to the summons, we had written to the Commission advising that Ms. Johns would be away on the 24th of January on approved leave. We had advised the Commission that Ms. Johns returns to work on the 9th of February, and we had requested if the summons that was issued to her could be extended to a date after the 9th of February for her to appear to respond to the summons. And that'll be our application this morning for an extension of that summons, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner, that is basically the position. They're seeking an extension of summons number 5, and the date that we propose for the extension is the 16th of February 2022 at 9:30 a.m. So if Commissioner could give some directions for the extension to that date. Thank you.
Substantial amount of documents in response to the summons. It was our intention to furnish those documents before today's hearing. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. We'd also like to get directions from you if we could furnish those documents prior to when Ms. Johns' summons returns on the 16th of February.
Thank you.
Commissioner, we have no objections to the documents that they say that BSP says that have already been compiled being furnished prior to the proposed return date. That can be done, but the application this morning is basically extension of time. So that can be the proposal for furnishing the documents beforehand. It can be dealt with a direction, or it may not be. So maybe if the Commission could just give directions for the extension. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. The circumstances can determine some of the factors that you and I have to look at. But given the time frame and the time factors that I've already emphasized, we need to comply with that. And for this reason, the Commission directs that summons number 5, dated 6 January 2022, is further extended to 16 February 2022 at about 9:30 a.m. for Manson. Dated is 24th day of January 2022 by the Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Also, thank you to Mr. Wafi and Mr. Taine for their attendance this morning.
Thank you.
Next is summons number 6. Summons number 6, Commissioner, was also dated 6 Jan 2022, was issued or given to Miss Grace Soon, who is the Secretary for NEC. Miss Soon is in attendance this morning, so maybe I should call her to attend at the witness box or stand. Thank you, Ms. Owen, and good morning to you. Ms. Owen, just let me take you through the basic procedure as to what's going to happen this morning. Simply, I'll ask you a few questions, and then you can produce to the Commission whatever documentation that you have in your possession this morning. We will not have you sworn in since this is the production phase. So For the record, Ms. Son, could you please state your name and your occupation, please?
Good morning, Commissioner. My name is Grace Sohon. I am the Secretary to the National Executive Council.
Thank you. And could you confirm for the record that you're here this morning in response to summons number 6?
Commissioner, I received the summons number 6 dated 6 January 2022 and 10th January 2022, requesting for me to appear before the inquiry this morning. And so here I am with the request of the inquiry. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Son. Finally, can you confirm to the Commission if you have any documentation in response to summons as well?
Commissioner, it was confirmed by the Council assisting that in my appearance this morning, if I could produce certain documents that's in my custody as Secretary to the National Executive Council. And yes, I have brought with me some NEC decisions and their submissions on the subject matter before the inquiry this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Son. Commissioner, that's all the questions we have for this morning for Ms. Sohon. What we propose to do is to have the summons for Ms. Sohon extended to the 7th of February, just to give us some time to make sure that if there's any other documentation, then she has the opportunity to appear on the next return date to produce those documents, if any, Commissioner. So maybe a similar direction could be given for extension of the summons to the 7th at 9:30 a.m. for mention. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Sohn. I'm satisfied with the circumstances that have come about as a result of this, and therefore the Commission directs that summons number 6 dated 6 January 2022 is further extended to 7 February 2022 at about 9:30 a.m. for mention. Dated is 24th day of January 2022 by the Commission.
Thank you, Commissioner. If Ms. Sohn could be excused from the witness stand, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Commissioner, the next summons is summons number 7. It's also dated 6th of January 2022 and issued to Mr. Andrew Waike, who is the Acting Secretary for the Department of Treasury. Yes, thank you. I'll formally make mention of that summons. And Mr. Waike is in attendance this morning with legal representation. So maybe I'll invite them to the bar table to make their respective appearances.
Thank you, Council.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
Council's name is Kewa, initial M, appearing for and on behalf of Acting Secretary Mr. Oake and Department of Treasury. I have with me our Principal Legal Officer, also appearing this morning. I would let her to introduce herself.
Good morning, Commissioner. I am Imo Sanawe,
Thank you. If I could have Mr. Waike take the witness box, please.
Commissioner, we have returned with summons to a witness number 7, dated 6th of January 2022. Department of Treasury received that summons on the 10th of January 2022, and Acting Secretary will hereby produce relevant documents deemed necessary and that are available at this stage to the Commission.
Thank you. Mr. Waike, I'll just ask you a few questions and then I'll have you excused there. Miss, can you state your full name and your occupation for the record, please?
Thank you, Commissioner. My name is Andrew Waike, and I'm the Acting Secretary for the Department of Treasury.
Thank you. And you have, in response to summons number 7, some documentation that you've collated so far. Is that the correct version of things?
That's correct. In relation to the summons 6 that was issued to us, I have some documentation here to be presented. And these documentations are 1, deed of guarantee and indemnity of the IPBC of PNG, summons of approval of number 2, summary of approved KCH term facility amendments, and documentation number 3, period balance with supporting warrants and relevant documentations from the budget divisions.
Thank you, Mr. Waike. That's all the questions from me. Commissioner, we will seek to have the summons for Mr. Waike extended to the 7th as well, just to cater for a situation where there might be some more documentation that Mr. Waike will want or may be required to produce. So we will give them the opportunity by way of the extension to produce those documents, and also give ourselves some time to review the documents that are produced so far. So maybe a similar direction to the other summons could be given to Mr. Waike as well, to the 7th of February at 9:30 a.m. for further mention. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Thank you. I've considered the time factors and also the necessary document that have to be presented on time. I'm also satisfied that your representation this morning has been acknowledged. And for that reason, the Commission directs that summons number 7, dated 6 January 2022, is further extended to 7 February 2022 at about 9:30 a.m. for mention, dated this 24th day of January 2022 by the Commission. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner, will have Mr. Waike excused from the from the witness stand. Commissioner, that's all the summons that are returning this morning. And for our part, we have no other matters to raise, unless if the Commission has any more issues to raise or matters to mention. If I may kindly ask that this inquiry be adjourned to the next hearing date as indicated in the press conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. It is important that when these directions are given, it must at all times be complied with, and the requirements that is needed by this Commission. That is very, very important, and I need to stress. We cannot come to this Commission of Inquiry unprepared, and that's the reason why I emphasize strongly that we need to be prepared when an extension is considered, given the benefit of doubt of circumstances that can come about. I stand on this, that it makes a lot of sense if we are to do it together, and you help guide the Commission in getting the relevant information that is needed so that we can progress further. And I'm glad for your attendance this morning. I'm satisfied. Thank you, Council, assisting. And if there is no other agenda this morning, I will ask the associate to adjourn hearing this morning.